need to be much higher, prices need to be much lower, stocks are overpriced, their multiples are too high. The US dollar is dramatically overpriced because it's going to lose a tremendous amount of its purchasing power over time, and therefore it should have a much lower exchange rate than the one it has right now. It also means that gold and silver prices are much too low because right now gold is priced for a world where there is no inflation, where inflation has been vanquished by a tough Federal Reserve that is committed to ridding the economy of inflation. When the markets realize that that's not the case, that the Fed is going to choose inflation as the lesser evil, because that's the choice. Do we have a massive economic collapse, financial crisis, depression, waves of defaults and bankruptcies, or do we tolerate higher inflation? The Fed already made that deal with the devil, and it's going to keep its commitments. We're going to have higher inflation. The markets just need to come to terms with that and price it into assets. And of course, it also means a huge decline in the American standard of living, because I think the recognition of this reality is going to be the final nail in the dollar's coffin. It's going to cause it to lose its status as the world's reserve currency. And so Americans are not going to be able to exchange the money that we print for the goods everybody else produces. We're going to have to live within our means. And those means have been greatly diminished during the years that we've been able to run these massive trade deficits, world's reserve currency. And so Americans are not, reality is going to be the final nail in the American standard of living, because I think the recognition of this reality is going to be the final nail in the dollar's coffin. It's going to cause it to lose its status as the world's reserve currency. And so Americans are not going to be able to exchange the money that we print for the goods everybody else produces. We're going to have to live within our means. And those means have been greatly diminished during the years that we've been able to run these massive trade deficits and outsource all of our manufacturing. We've gotten a small taste of those supply channel bottlenecks recently. Well, we're going to get a full helping of it later once the dollar plunges and we really see how much we depend on global supply chains. But again,
wow, dollar plunges is going to happen in 2023. Hello, you all. I'm always in front of my laptop, usually just reading and researching. Came across the news that Amazon has its biggest layoff job cut in the company's history. Now, why is this very important? Why should you be very attentive to this? Because we know Amazon, especially when the world was closed down, was the biggest hub, was the biggest distribution center for our goods, our services. Some people were even buying bread and groceries, but all of the major supplies during that time of people, masked up in 2019, 2020, Amazon had record-breaking sales. So when Amazon is now laying off over 18,000 workers, it is sounding the alarm that this global recession will come in 2023, right? A global recession. I want you all to hit that like and share button. I already see that on Facebook. Thank you, Facebook, for doing that as well. And I want you to hashtag, if you're watching this live or on the replay, it's coming. I'm getting that from Deion Sanders that told Colorado, Deion Sanders, he told Colorado, tell everybody, what message am I delivering? Simply tell them I'm coming. And I think he's transforming that message right now to we are coming, we are coming, we are coming. So with that being said, people, let's break down and let's prepare. And as they would say in church, let's govern ourselves accordingly and let's get your house in order because it's coming. It's coming. So Amazon is laying off 18,000. That's right. It's coming, right? But we are preparing over here. We are in preparation. I'm laying off 18,000 workers, the largest job cut in the history of the company, this is the CEO, Andy Jackson, JC, about to have 17 to 18,000 fewer employees. So if that big distribution hub, if Amazon, the most widely distribution center, right, is laying off, the largest cut, I want you all to really let this saturate and meditate in the history. This is the largest group of tech workers laid off in recent months. In the history, I told you all during the last Fed meeting that the federal government, Fed Chairman Jerome Powell said that we are going to have job cuts and that millions of Americans will, after the holidays, enter into 2023 with layoffs and with job cuts. Now, last year, the New York Times reported that Amazon planned to lay off 10,000 workers last year, and this was like less than 3% of the workforce. But that number has continually grown so far and in the upcoming weeks. People, this is the largest group of layoffs, again, that a major distribution hub and tech company in recent months have made. Now, the company overall has 1.5 million employees that work in a warehouse. The layoffs has been so concentrated by the groups. And so you have to think of other warehouses type jobs, distribution centers that may lay off. We have to look at vehicle sales, right? We got to look at the sales of vehicles. All right, my internet is back, right? They will continue to have layoffs. Now, I am totally in agreement with prayer, but one thing, and I hope that you don't take this in the wrong way, that's even better than prayer is preparation. That's even better than prayer. When you read any recession in the Bible, the people that the wealth transfer was given to were prepared. The people that the wealth transfer came to in Matthew 25 went out and they traded. They put their money into things that can outgrow inflation. One thing that Joseph did in the Bible during a recession was he sold, and he sold agriculture, he sold commodity, he sold food, he sold wheat. I've never seen anywhere in the Bible, right, where prayer alone brought people through hard financial hardships. Even in 1 Kings chapter 4, when the widow woman went to Elijah and said, hey, my husband is dead. He served you all of these years. Elijah instructed her to open a home-based business and to have her sons to work for her and to go borrow vessels. That means to leverage her credit or credibility. And they had to go to work. They executed the business plan. Even the widow woman who was about to bake her last meal and die, right? And this is, I think, in 2 Kings. She had to execute a strategy. Elijah said, give me a portion, give me a piece first. And as long as she connected with him and his strategy, the Bible quotes that the meal barrel never ran dry in a drought. Even when the people, the 5,000 that followed Jesus, were hungry, and all that was near him was 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread from a little boy's lunch. Jesus had to use that little and make it a lot, and he had to execute a strategy. Every time that there was lack in the Bible, a strategy was executed. If it wasn't, just put it in the comments, and you can. I definitely will be open to seeing where that did not happen, right? Now that prayer does, it was proven that prayer has brought about a breakthrough of some things, right? I'm not saying prayer is not needed, but a strategy was always executed even after a prayer request. You want healing, go dip in the water 7 times. You have to do something. You got to do something. Jesus told a man at the pool of Bethel, right? You pick up your bed and walk. He didn't tell him just say a prayer. He gave him action steps. So that's what I'm going to do as well. Action steps to take. Experts rip Biden administration and U.S. oil giants bet big on Americans. White House looping our own industry. So, with this being said, all experts and investors torch the Biden administration, and for the largest U.S. producers announced that they're pumping more capital into domestic drilling. That means people offshore, domestic drilling, right? So you have these regular gas prices. What's going on right now? Now, let me play this for you all so you can hear. That will probably be better for you. So let me play this video.
Stephen Shork. Stephen, you and I talk oil all the time. Welcome back to the show and Happy New Year to you. ExxonMobil and Chevron pulling back a little bit from their big international projects. They're saying they're going to focus on oil projects in the United States. Chevron's saying it's going to pour 70% of the capital allocated for production into oil fields in the U.S., Argentina, and Canada. Maria spoke with Chevron CEO Mike Wirth back in December on the company's expenditures for 2023. Watch this and then your reaction.
Excellent. And we are pursuing projects that we think are good for the market. We've indicated we'll grow production at an average compound annual growth rate of 3% over the next several years, and production is up this year. So we are pursuing good opportunities in conventional fuels, and we're growing our renewables business at the same time. So we feel like we're investing at an appropriate level to do our part to meet this demand.
Stephen, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's an excellent sign, and it is once again a view of just how great American energy is. Jackie, I just wanted to point out, when you were talking to your prior guest, just how specious the White House argument is, to the point where not only are we in the winter, but we're consuming winter fuels,
yes,
which are cheaper to manufacture. But when you do apples to apples, that is to say, when you look at where the February gasoline market trading today was and where it was well before Putin's war, where it was in November of 2020, gasoline prices are still 75 cents a gallon higher. And this, and this is, so let's just put that specious argument to the side. But with regard to Maria's interview with Mr. Wirth, indeed, this just goes to show that it's a potential shot in the arm and a great sign that even though with all the vitriol that has come out of this White House lampooning our own industry while coddling terrorists in Venezuela, that we now have U.S. industry that is once again reinvesting in its domestic industry. And it's a good thing for U.S. jobs, a good thing for the U.S. economy.
Yeah, I'm glad you made the point about the seasonality because, you know, as Todd mentioned here beside me, some of this is just seasonal and the White House got lucky. So we'll see where we go as we head into the summer driving season for 2023. Stephen.
And that's what I want to focus on. Where will we be going when we head into the summer driving season of 2023? Many are predicting gas prices will be back at least $7 a gallon during that time. This article says oil will jump 28% in 2023 with another energy crunch to set prices higher. And yeah, this is energy crunch. So it's saying that oil will again, if you remember last year during the summer months in June, oil was approximately $122 a barrel. They said it will rise above $100 a barrel in the top risk of the year. Oil demands look poised to grow as China recovers quickly after backing off the C-19 policies, and the U.S. Experienced only a shallow recession. So let's talk about oil prices, how they can be financial advantageous for you as well, about the oil prices. on a financial note, putting your money in the path of growth. Also, what's going on right now with China, one of the biggest distribution imports to the United States. United States is not manufacturing much these days, right? That was the key point of focus for the past two presidents between Trump and Biden. And now you're saying C-19 outbreak raises global alarm. So this is, along with Biden dipping into the United States Reserve last quarter of last year, China right now, economy, they're not doing much as far as shutdowns right now with C-19. But by the day, it continues to say that they are rising in numbers. And if that hub, the things we see that made in China, and now Amazon is laying off their distribution, the largest tech firm and shipping site for a lot of goods and services. I'm not just talking about casual shopping, buying a new hat or a new coat or a new wardrobe or a new jacket. I'm talking about Amazon getting the equipment that you would need, getting things like that shipped to you at your doorstep that you might not cannot find, especially for small towns, in a local dispensary. Getting those items that will help you prepare recession-wise, right? Now, what will be in stock and how long will it take to ship it to you? Now, not only is China having problems with the C-19, you all make sure you hit the thumbs up, because whenever you mention this, you are definitely giving, your video views are not pushed out in the algorithm, right? They won't ask people to watch the live stream. So definitely hit the thumbs up while you're watching, so that most people can, or a lot of people can watch these views. So according to this, or watch this live stream rather, it's just not a China problem. It is in Canada as well, as they having these new, jab, a new jab. The CDC is now admitting that the numbers are screwed. A lot of questions about sudden, heart issues, and I'm just being careful how I verbalize this, right? And so with that being said, people, now you have the C-19 that seems to be rearing its ugly head for another outbreak. So you have now is taking the subvariant, another subvariant that's taking over in Canada as well as China. I've always been telling you all, and straightforward and honest about that this will be a global recession, right? This will be a global financial reset. And with this reset, just like up to 1971, when cash was backed by gold until President Nixon took that out of legislator, out of law, out of the whatever the law was. Then it was backed by the petrodollar with the support of Saudi Arabia. Now it's not backed by anything. So what I am helping people to find a solution and to help them. Now, I went to my local grocery stores. I've seen a lot of YouTubers talk about the prices of eggs have increased, but I seen like what was it? I don't know, a dozen eggs, the crate of eggs, I don't know, but the largest amount that because I don't purchase eggs like that, right? But the largest amount that they carry, that was $15. And I talked to the worker and I asked him, I said, well, what's the normal price of these eggs? He said, well, it's $9, so it's a $5 increase. So me personally, and I also saw some eggs by the smaller packaging that you can get for $5. So at my local grocery store, egg prices were not a problem. But I've heard some people saying a dozen eggs are as much as $30 in their neck of the woods. there are not egg and milk shortages. Again, when I went to my local grocery store, they was fully stocked with eggs, no milk shortages. The milk was fine as well, and the eggs you still can purchase eggs for like $4.99, $5.99. I did see the larger package, however, that had the $5 increase, but nothing just astronomical and out of hand. And so natural gas jumps almost 5% after $5 sell off. So why am I coming to you all, talking to you all about commodities, right? Why do I'm telling you all that stack as much physical silver as you can, right? As well, because we're going to see this supply chain disruption. This is what the Amazon largest layoff in history is all about, over 18,000 workers. This is when we're going to go back to days that you only read about in the history book, where you can exchange gold and silver for food, for gassing, for essential items, and not cash. Whenever this new Fed coin is released and people are not trusting, as the beginning of this video said, of this live stream said, that the dollar will have its day of crashing. It will no longer be accepted globally across the United States lines, and that's going to desperately impact and affect our importing and exporting of goods, and the depreciation or the collapse of the dollar. People, no currency, no cash currency, physical paper has really lasted over 50 years. So when we calculate 1971 to beginning of 2023, that time period is right at 52 years. This is the 50th, 2021 from 1971 made what biblically is stated as the 50th Jubilee, in which slaves were free. They were free of all debts. I don't believe in the Nasara Act. I've read it. I concentrated on it. But for that to, I don't believe that for everybody, I say it that way, right? I do believe that countries that gold, the real money, was confiscated, like Spain. That's the whole reason why Biden even changed physical cash, being able to convert into real money, which is gold and silver, because Spain was on their way to the United States in warships to retrieve their gold for the real money. I believe countries like that have documentation that their gold or the real money was illegally taken away from them will have that Nasara or transfer it back to them. But everyday people who family never owned gold anyway, in their generation, you cannot prove that you was a descendant of a family that had their gold confiscated even from the 1930s, then you don't have anything that should be awarded to you that can be. So even if some Americans get a gold reward back, which is what the Nasara Act promotes, you're going to have to prove that you are in that family lineage of any gold that was confiscated illegally back in the 1930s, and that may or may not be you. That may or may not be you. So I don't believe that the United States will pay out every citizen, because to be honest with you, only rich and wealthy people possessed that gold in the 1930s anyway. So I don't believe they're going to just pay out every citizen amount in or just give them money and gold. The United States is going to need as much gold backing themselves before they just give it out freely. So with that being said, what's the solution to this new currency system, to this new digital money, aka Fed coin? Well, besides stacking physical silver, because again, I've always said that silver and gold is about to do some big change. But in a bull market, silver will outperform gold because silver is both an industrial metal and it's money. It holds two purposes, two use cases. And so as these shortages of silver will drive up the prices, Then you also have the RFID chips, the 5G Wi-Fi, electronic vehicles, catalytic converters, phone batteries. Everyone mostly will have money through mobile phones, and this is where physical, tangible silver will go into play. I've also tell people about these cryptocurrencies that are backed by commodities, right? This one debt token, to me, right now, it's at right at $20 a token. To me, and I told my team yet, again, I'm not giving financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I believe having access to these tokens can at $20 right now, because in approximately 1 year, it was released under 1 penny, and a year later it's at $20. This is like getting in my opinion, again, at Bitcoin, like at $20, right? And so you have black gold. I told you, or I showed you, where it's predicted that black gold, aka crude oil, will rise again. So will natural gas prices going into the summer, the driving months and travel months. Grow. This is a crypto commodity that's backed by high yielding agriculture, such as weed, hemp, cocoa beans, right? Chocolate. Cocoa beans is what you make chocolate with, and cocoa plants. And high yielding agriculture, you have grow. And then you have digital gold. This is where, because most people cannot afford $1,800 for 1 ounce, but you can get the digital gold, and then you can retrieve it for the physical gold. And then you have aluminum. Aluminum is used as an industrial metal as well, such as silver. Then you also have a copper shortage as well. So you have aluminum. And then even with this debt token, this is the green one, it's called debt. I'm gonna break that down to you a little bit more. But it operates, it's the brain, it's the hub, right, of all of these commodities, cryptos. You have XPLR, that's the digital satellite. It's like an MRI, will scan your body looking for any ailments or illness. This satellite technology scans the earth, finding these minerals, crude oil, natural gas spots, and other platinum, palladium, right? Other resources, natural resources, in a more efficient and effective way. It's going to be the first satellite cryptocurrency that's going to be launched into space, or at least into space. And this connection is with Elon Musk, with SpaceX, also Boeing. If you ever flew before, you might was on a Boeing aircraft. They also do rocket ship engineering, just things of that nature to really, put it into outer space with that technology, and Google Earth. Now, these are future projects that will be announced next weekend, so I'm looking forward to that. You see the housing. This is cryptocurrency backed by real estate, housing. This gray icon here is digital silver. And then we have a royalty-backed cryptocurrency. So just so many ways that you can earn money through cryptos backed by commodity. Now, black gold is the best-selling or the most well-known, I'll say it that way, because up to date, it was released in November 2021. And by June, when crude oil hit the 122 barrel price mark, over 1,000 millionaires, 300 liquid, right? Liquid, and I think it's either 1,000 non-liquid or 700, but over 1,000 millionaires were made for those persons that got in November 2021. Now, I didn't find out about this until November 2022, but I definitely got in when I found out. So by purchasing these digital software, also called mintings or node or mining, is like having a lottery ticket that gives you rewards at the same time on a daily basis. Or it's like having an ATM that prints unlimited money, or having a goose that prints, or I mean, not print, but produces golden eggs continuously. So black gold is a token that be traded for other cryptocurrencies and liquidate, right, for all of your trades. You also get the royalties. If you know anything about royalties, you know, I think the best example around this time is Mariah Carey. In the 1990s, she released All I Want for Christmas. She got upfront $60 million. And just this year alone, every time that's played around the holiday, she gets royalties. She doesn't have to do any more work. She doesn't have to remake the song. From what I've read in Forbes, she made over $3 million just in the royalties of that song. So now we're talking about passive income. We're talking about capital gains income, and by having cryptocurrencies backed by commodities. So you also get royalties, right? See, when black gold is what is spent, the functions or the percentage of this gold or crude, I mean, I said black gold, but I'm talking about digital, I'm thinking digital gold, but I said the right thing, black gold. But when this crude oil is retrieved from the underlying area of the earth or the ground, right, out of the market, 100% of these tokens, these crypto tokens, are sent to a burn wallet, never to be seen again. So in Nebraska, for example, there's 50 million barrels of reservoir in Nebraska. These are the oil wells that this project is already working with. Nevada, 400 million barrels in reserve. And then 11 sites in the future in Nebraska, 3 in Ghana, and multiple sites in the Texas locations right now are in review. So we have Nebraska, Nevada. These are some actual pictures of the mining at the work site. Actually, you know, how the retrieval of these commodities. This is in Nebraska oil well, right? And then you have this debt. This debt is abbreviated for decentralized, eco-friendly blockchain technology. It's already listed on PancakeSwap, Bitmart, LBank, BitTrue, Xmo, and Gate.io. This is the token, the heartbeat, right? And future, the main goal is to get it listed on Binance. So you know that when it's listed on Binance, companies that are listed, Binance is the #1 exchange. So companies that are listed, or when a token or crypto is listed, I'll say it that way, that they have huge gains up on that listing. And so people, you have black gold that's sold out. There's no more licenses. But what a license would do will position you for the lifetime of receiving cash flow and crypto money in a passive way. Because you are investing in the software. You are investing in the ATM, for example, for illustration purposes. It's going to produce you perpetual money. That's cheaper than getting a cash value life insurance. I'm not saying life insurance is not needed, right, to pass on generational wealth, but it is cheaper. It is definitely a way to become your own bank with the future of money connected with the past of money, to where you can set you and your family up for lifetime, or your children, or whoever you want to be a recipient of it. Should you transition from the earth realm, right, and make your transition, where they are perpetually receiving these cryptocurrencies and these cash flow on a daily basis. No recruiting anyone required. Oil is not going anywhere. If you know anything about crude oil, you touch it every day when you touch a plastic bag. When you fertilize crops in agriculture, oil is used for that. So these commodities are not going anywhere. And so having them connected with the future of money is setting you up for a future of lifestyle where your cash flow and you having your money or your hard-earned money to something that, as gas prices increase, as groceries increase, as inflation happen, your money is moving right along with it. Then you have natural gas, right? You got gold, digital gold, aluminum, XPLR. And so people now, this is also for people that said, you know what, Queen, can I rent it? Do you have any other options than getting a perpetual license? Can I do it short term? Yes, you can. You can do it short term and get the same benefits just for 60 days. A lot of these rentals, the black gold is for 30 days, but I think the black gold is sold out right now. I'm not sure if you can even get that, right? But you have natural gas for 60 days, I'm sorry, and grow the high yielding agriculture crypto token for 90 days. And aluminum, you can rent, you can do a test drive, aluminum and that XPLR are 30-day cycles. So on a perpetual basis, and I'm going to show you what this look like, you are accumulating more of these cryptos that are connected with the commodities market. Most people have to might be accredited investor to even get access to this. Meaning that for 2 years, you will have to show that if you're single, that you have at least an income of over 200,000, right, for 2 years, and that's after your taxes, that you're 200K in profit, or if you're married, over $300. Most people cannot get this insider information, but what this company is called IX Global has done was partnership with this company called Debtbox, and they come in and they purchase these for wholesale price, so you don't have to pay retail price to get these gains and get these benefits. Okay, my explanation, if that wasn't thorough enough, and I understand that, so I really want to get an understanding about purchasing the license and everything that comes with it, then send a text to CC to the number shown at the bottom of the screen. That's 331-444-5556. And so this is what my mining looks like, right? It is going to keep on working while this is my portfolio value here. You can see I have black gold, aluminum, and XPLR. I also have some more as well. I think I have all of them. Yeah, it's not one that I don't have, or that I at least have money in. And so what you're doing is you're purchasing. It's like having a lottery and having getting the rewards at the same time on a daily basis, or it's like purchasing an ATM that's printing you cash flow and accumulating you crypto unlimited. Like, it's like owning the ATM instead of just owning the cash every now and then that comes out. Crude oil, black gold, is up 7.41%. Digital gold has taken a dump, but that's okay. Well, not a dump, but it's down by 8%. I'm telling you, gold and silver is going to move when this economy moves. You got Debtbox, that again, that's the brain that operates all of these cryptos and commodities, DEBT. That is decentralized. You all know anything about Bitcoin, you know the power of having a commodity, people. And debt right now is at $20. In 1 year time, it went from being offered under a penny to $20. So imagine where it's going to be valued at when it's listed on Binance, right? Or when it's listed this time when it's listed this time, December, I'm saying this time next year, like it's December 2022. But in 11 months from now, in December 2023, imagine where that debt token is going to be. A decentralized token. A lot of people ask, Carmel Wine says, I didn't know about this side. I didn't know about this side of crypto either until about Thanksgiving. of last year, and I was sick with the flu, and someone contacted me, and I had no choice but to sit down and listen because I was isolated from friends and family. And I'm like, okay, let me listen and pay attention to what this is. And it has been game changer for me ever since. I'm getting cash on a daily basis as well as more of these commodities backed by crypto. Right. And so you have that debt token decentralized. Most people think Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. No, Bitcoin is in a league of its own because there's no controller of Bitcoin. I'm gonna enlarge my screen. Let me change it. I don't think people understand what decentralized really means. There is no controller of Bitcoin. It is truly peer to peer. It is hack proof. Many people think Ethereum, for example, is a decentralized. Ethereum is not decentralized. It's going to be used by banks and big institutions for transactions and to make smart contractual agreements. Ethereum is not decentralized. It is a centralized cryptocurrency. This debt token is decentralized as Bitcoin is. And it has to be verified by blocks on the blockchain. It is truly peer to peer. Isolation, I agree with that. Isolation is definitely a game changer. And so I know my screen is a little small. My voice is getting a little weak, even though I have my tea. So I'm going to wrap this up. Natural gas, most of you all know that about petroleum, but we use natural gas in so many other ways than at the pump. So, while the gas price is going to increase during driving season in the summer, your cash is going to grow and increase right along with it. Again, the XPLR, the aluminum, and, this is just the crypto and the cash flow rewards. So people, if you have your money sitting in a bank account, my question to you will be why? Why is it just sitting there? You're not accumulating any more money. You're not getting any interest on it. And the more it sits in the bank, the less and less it's going to be worth every day. If you're not growing tomorrow's money, right, in comparison with today's prices, you're losing. If the money you made yesterday is not growing to keep up with the prices increase of today, you're losing. And if you're losing, you're not winning. I don't know if you all can see my shirt, but one of my viewers, she actually gave me this idea. I just came up with the font and got it printed. This shirt said "Millionaires Are Us." I don't think I've seen her in a while. I don't know. But that was her YouTube name. And I was like, I like that. So I got a font made, the way I wanted it, and just got this on a t-shirt. And thanks for mentioning SPLR. I was being scanned in my dream as a future technology. Didn't know a crypto was behind it, but it shocked me. Thank you. But listen, I'm going to say this and I'm logging off. Did you know that I just got this channel called Peacock, right? Peacock. And I really just got that network because I wanted to watch what's that final chapters of The Best Man final chapters, right? I go on Peacock today and I see Quantum Leap. They have this new version of Quantum Leap. You all, Quantum Leap sound, being able to go back in the time machine in the past and understand the present was my show. So that's why I can connect past money and present money in one. In fact, I'm about to get out this live stream and start watching it. So I don't know if this Quantum Leap is going to be good as the Quantum Leap that I watched when I came off of, but I cannot wait. Hello, that's old school, man. When I said Quantum Leap, I got excited because I get excited about connecting the past and the future. And I can really get into Nikola Tesla, how they say he traveled in time machine. And but I won't go that in debt tonight. But yeah, I love that show. I'm about to watch this show now. So it's on Peacock. And they have Bel Air. They have Bel Air with this Jeff, with this Will Smith and Carlton and Hillary and Philip Banks. It's like a series show. It's called Bel Air. So yeah, Peacock. Don't tell you watch. I'm like, look at, I was really gonna just get Peacock to see The Best Man final chapters, and I was gonna cancel the subscription. But I'm like, oh, I think they got. Then I watched the documentary of Ric Flair on Peacock. So hey, they're not giving me anything to promote it, but I'm so far I'm loving Peacock. So I'm about to log off. But you all make sure you hit that thumbs up. Thank you for everyone that commented. If you're watching this on the replay, make sure you drop your comment. Let me know. I like to know where you all are tuning in from, what parts of the world. And just know this is a global opportunity. It's just not for Americans, or it's just not confined to the United States. That's another thing in comparison to how Bitcoin, I know you all know Bitcoin is deemed as a commodity as well. And the reason why Bitcoin is deemed as a commodity, because Bitcoin can be traded for any other crypto in any other part of the world, right? And that's what makes it a commodity. It's fungible. It has no common issuer, and all of the tokens, our other tokens have a issuer except Bitcoin. And this is what this whole crypto and commodities, right? It's about. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. But my voice is almost gone and my tea is almost out. Okay, we got Atlanta in the house, ATL, Ohio. We are having our conference next weekend. Wow, thinking about that. In Salt Lake City, Utah. So if you're in the northern area or you're in Salt Lake, text CC to 331-444-5556. And even, you can get in and meet some people hands-on if you go ahead and take action. And you can hear hands-on about these new cryptos that's going to be announced and dropped. So thank you. It just is going to be lit. I appreciate you all. Hit that thumbs up. You all have a great night. Queen out.